Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is Catastrophe, Create and Destroy. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a few years ago, and the world has completely transformed since then. If I encounter anything that seems out of date, I will give you the most recent information. At the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. And I have some special authors, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Catastrophe, Create and Destroy. There seems to be an awful lot of natural disasters recently. I read about a Swedish couple that went on a 4-month honeymoon starting in Munich, Germany, during Europe's worst snowstorms in history. They left and went to sunny Australia, only to get caught up in torrential rains and a cyclone in the southeast. So they fled to Perth, which had wildfires. The next stop was Christchurch, New Zealand, in the midst of their earthquakes. And the final part of the trip was in Japan, which had an earthquake, tsunami, and a volcanic eruption. Blizzards, cyclones, quakes, and tsunamis. Oh my. What does this mean? Is this the end of the Earth? Was the last disaster movie a predictor of things to come? Hardly. From the planet's point of view, it's no big deal. It's been rumbling and shaking, belching lava and changing temperature since the beginning of time. It seems excessive to us because every human being has a camera on their phone and can immediately share with the world what's happening in their little part of the planet. We see it and it feels like it's happening to us as well. Like a house under constant remodel, creating and destroying is the Earth's main activity. It spews lava and creates new land masses. It ignites wildfires, clearing hectares of land and releasing seedlings that otherwise would never grow. Certain insects, plants, and animals need frozen winters as dormancy and hibernation are part of their natural life cycles. Our body's personalities view things with a narrow focus directly related to our own survival. As a species, we seem driven to change, fix, and improve our circumstances. Using our creation of airplanes, we learned to seed clouds to create rain and release retardants to quench fires. We add dirt onto oceans to extend areas to build on. We see temperatures changing and take it personally as if it's something we've done rather than Earth's own gradual growth out of yet another ice age. Okay, I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to stop myself there. Did I not believe in climate change back then when I wrote that? So I think there's two things coming on is that yes, Earth goes through a gradual change and it goes in and out of ice ages. I will have to say science has proven that we have been accelerating that with our own use of fossil fuels. And so there are things that we as humanity can do to help slow climate change. And I even wonder if we were so creative as consciousness that we can come up with a solution to it, similar to there was a hole in the ozone over Australia, which is really, really bad. And then they enacted a bunch of changes. I think the world enacted a bunch of changes, and it helped contribute to the closing of that ozone hole. As consciousness, we're always writing the story, and the script can change at any moment. Back to the blog. A monarch butterfly doesn't sink into depression because it's lost some of its natural habitat in Mexico. Nature adapts to change. We, on the other hand, resist it. I'll do a little pause there too. I was thinking about the butterflies. Nature does adapt to change. There's wildlife going extinct, sometimes because of man's activity. On the other hand, there are stories of wildlife thought extinct suddenly being seen again. So again, this is where the world becomes a hologram and things can instantaneously show up and disappear. I think about the dinosaurs being an early prototype of consciousness's forms. Either their bodies didn't work to the satisfaction of consciousness, or consciousness just wanted to create a whole new prototype like human beings. So they erased the slate and started over again. Okay, I'll go back to the blog. Yeah, nature adapts to changes. We, on the other hand, resist it. And how is that working for us? Actually, it's spurring us to create alternative fuels and come up with ways not to contribute to the destructive aspect of the planet. Oh, thank God I did believe in climate change back then. But in other ways, resistance is futile. It's helpful for us to realize that we as consciousness create this reality series of life on planet Earth. It's important for us to know that we can handle big changes. Destroying can be as creative as creating. When you can view view Earth's changes from divinity's loving neutrality. It's easier to go with the flow. When you can love what is and appreciate the immense power of creation, you can shift into a place of agreement. When you agree with what's going on, it feels a lot better, and birth into newness happens a lot more quickly and effortlessly. Although I focused on nature and the weather, you can apply this to the emotional storms and circumstantial disruptions in your everyday life as well. It may seem your world is collapsing because you've lost your job or your marriage or your car or your home, but you, like the earth, are simply expanding into something new. This week, take a cosmic conscious viewpoint on your life. If you were viewing things from the moon, what would it be like? If you were looking back on this point in time from 100 years in the future, how important is it? Make choices, take actions from a greater perspective, and see what happens. And leave me a comment below when you do, because I love to read your comments. There is a point of realizing that this planet is really a game of creating and destroying. Our coming into form is an act of creation, and that creating and destroying is equally as creative from the perspective as consciousness. Having a life full of disasters and tragedies is actually very creative from the point of view as consciousness. Bodies don't like those kind of lifetimes. We want to have a life all of creation and abundance. And when you do view your life as consciousness, you can see the bigger picture. You can understand things collapsing become just fertilizer for new things to create. And when you can see it that way, it's a lot easier to climb out of the muck. So if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on social media. And also click the like button and subscribe, and that way you're telling YouTube to share this far and wide and get this out to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you that expanded perspective, like viewing things from the moon, to have a cosmic consciousness view of your life. And if you'd like some techniques for manifestation, I have a self-study course, Manifesting Money and Miracles, where you can learn how to embody these increased vibrations to create a complete transformation in your life. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can sign up for my individual sessions where I take a look at you as consciousness and what's going on in your life today, and I can answer any questions you might have. And it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a good preparation for my coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and give you specifically chosen techniques from my collection of consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. You can find out more at my website. So go to joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Morning Musings.